What's up guys, this is Rise and welcome to another video where I've got some open Ultra League action for you. These battles were taken from my live stream where we built our rank 1 Alolan Sandslash. We're a couple levels under leveled. I just was a little bit short on the XL candy. Need to trade some of the Sandshrew that I still have stored. We should be able to get this guy to that 2500 CP rank 1 A/. And we go on a pretty epic run in this video. So we start things off straight into the commentary. And we're met with a very solid lead. Our opponent is staying in with their Charmer. I get a phone call mid-battle. Don't worry, I called him back later. And then because he stayed in, I figured he's probably double weak to the Sandslash. That's why I elect to swap in my Swampert. And he is staying in, which is amazing for me because our Giratina would definitely struggle to take out this Umbreon. I got the shield on the Hydro, so this time I decided to go for the EQ. I figure he's not going to shield so early in the match. This Umbreon has a ton of energy stored up. Reveals the Dark Pulse, so probably has double Dark Pulse. I sneak in a Mud Shot here, which is pretty nice. And I decide, you know, if he's staying in, maybe I'll just shield my Swampert. Probably could have EQ'd here. Might have been the better play. Because this Hydro Cannon won't KO. So EQ there would have been nice. Wouldn't have had to take this Dark Pulse. Swampert lives. In comes Nidoqueen. And I'm like, okay, we're in a fine spot. Let's try and not reveal our third Pokemon if possible. We're going to go for double Ice Punch rather than one Bulldoze. I was going to say because Bulldoze is such a bad move, but I get the comment every time. I've gotten the comment like, if I had $1 for every time Rise said Bulldoze is a bad move. So I won't say Bulldoze is a bad move, but we're going for double Ice Punch because the double Ice Punch would do far more than one Bulldoze. And we don't reveal our third Pokemon. And it's on to the next one. Sandslash into Nidoqueen, another favorable lead for us. They're staying in because they do have access to Earth Power. And yeah, I'm just going to go for Ice Punches here. They're more efficient than the Bulldoze. As you see, 2 Ice Punches pretty much KOs plus the Shadow Claw damage. I'm debating whether I want to shield or not because I know an Earth Power doesn't one-shot me. I can tank one. But I figure he's unlikely going to bait. It'd be a risky bait for him. So fortunately, we called it correctly. We take out Nido. In comes a Machamp. We are not going to stay in. Unfortunately, we get hard punished by a Meganium. And I figure the Meganium is probably not going to shield, so I just go for an EQ. Probably ends up being the wrong play because I could have gotten to 3 Hydros if I had just gone straight Hydro. But I end up only getting to an EQ and a Hydro. So probably I should have either triple Hydro'd or double EQ'd. I decide to shield the Sandslash, which in the moment I'm like, is this really dumb of me? But I get a shield back. In comes the Machamp. And the Meganium should be fairly empty, right? It just EQ'd, so it can't have a Frenzy Plant stored. Frenzy Plant is 45 energy, so yeah, you can't store an EQ and a Frenzy. Rock Slide's gonna take us out. We're gonna overfarm as much as possible before throwing. Does the Machamp... he's out of shield, so Meganium is going to be forced to throw energy here, and it doesn't because the Meganium knew it needed to have energy to threaten the Sandslash, so Meganium had to like overfarm quite a bit to have a chance there. If they just throw their Frenzy, we just beat him to the Ice Punch. So good game there. Had to play a little risky, swapping our Swampert and a Meganium hard punishing it, but still able to pull it out. Terrific lead, and as you see, Sandslash just pulling a ton of great leads for us. You could argue I should have come in with my Giratina here, but I think Swampert makes sense as well. The reason I throw after one Mud Shot here is because you see my Swampert paused, it lagged, so if I had done 2 Mud Shots, like proper timing, I would have probably allowed the Talonflame to sneak through. I know that makes sense to some of you guys might not be sure what exactly I mean by that. We take out the Talon, but we did have to go down a shield. I try and CMP tie the Giratina here on the Earthquake. Really no point in baiting, in my opinion. Either I get a shield or I do a bunch of damage. Dragon Claw comes through. I aggressively swap my Giratina, which, man, I don't know if this is smart. I didn't want to give the Giratina like a Shadow Claw down there, and this way I can save my Swampert as a sack swap for later, but this could really backfire depending on what's in back. So when this was happening in real time, I was telling chat like, oh my, like I just threw the game, didn't I? There's gonna be a Scrafty in back. I just threw the game, but we'll see what happens. Their Giratina is able to take me out. So it's basically Sandslash against whatever's in back. And it's a Cresselia. They are double weak. Double weak to Sandslash, and they brought in their only hard counter to it. So if you're the opponent, you're probably better off in this game just sacrificing your Giratina, to be honest. Just sacrificing your Giratina. I swap in the Swampert just to give it some use. I know I can get to a Hydro Cannon here, so I do give them extra farm, but that's all right. These charge moves aren't very threatening. To Sandslash, I figure he's probably not going to bait me when I'm still this healthy, so that's why I shield the first one. Another move coming through, but as you are going to see, now they Grass Knot, kind of weird. The charge moves from Crest do very little to Sandslash, resists everything, a complete wall to Cresselia. And we just farm down the Gira, and our opponent, top lefts, fighting till the bitter end. And we take another win. As you see, Sandslash getting tons of favorable matchups for us. It's a fairly meta team, right? Swampert, Giratina have always been very meta in the Ultra League, and then Sandslash kind of like that next tier, more like anti-meta than top meta. And now we've got Master League currently going on. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, there we are. Back at it. Who is the next opponent? By the way, I've been really slow getting the vlog from Indianapolis edited. It's new for me, right? It's like a new style, so I'm kind of just taking my time with it, putting clips together, putting the edits together. I've already got it kind of like piece by piece in terms of clip by clip. Now it's just kind of trimming the edges, you know, trimming all the clips, adding music, adding any transitions or effects. But I'm really happy with the camera quality and how the video quality has turned out. So I think you guys are going to enjoy it. We get a positive lead here. A/slash into Jellicent. But it's actually like not the most comfortable matchup, right? Because our charge moves aren't very threatening to Jellicent. As we like to say, Bulldoze isn't the most efficient move. It's like a much worse Earthquake. But our Shadow Claws are really chunking and their Hexes aren't chunking. So if I'm able to successfully shield 2 Shadow Balls here, I put myself in a pretty good situation, you could say. Like, I wouldn't recommend going down 2 shields in the lead. You almost never want to do that. But in this situation, I'm able to stay super healthy. So we're going to chip this Scrafty with an Ice Punch, and now we swap our Swampert. I don't know if they panic swapped, but they swapped their Nido into our Swampert, which I do not think is the play. I think they were much better off just staying in. But one good thing about this team is Nidoqueen has pretty much nowhere to go. Oh, Earthquake. Nice. But Swampert's bulky enough. It's going to get to 2 more Hydro Cannons here. I was just eyeing if I could reach the Earthquake. I wasn't sure, so I just settled for a Hydro here. Does quite a bit. And at this point, I'm perfectly comfortable just sacrificing my Slash. They actually keep the energy. Smart play by them. And now I just need my Giratina to be able to live 2 foul plays. Because the Scrafty's definitely going to get to 2 here. So that's why I'm just... that's why I allowed him to throw first. I know he's going to get to 2 anyway. Because my Dragon Claw won't quite KO. I really just need to take out the Scrafty. That Nidoqueen is super low. Get off my Dragon Claw here. Come on. Giratina. You can do it. And the Dragon Breaths actually KO the Nidoqueen first, even though our Giratina had extremely low health. So, pretty close finish there. Good game. I don't know if I would consider Sandslash into Jelly a positive lead. I'd say it's like a positive neutral lead. Not necessarily like a hard win. Because Jelly probably just straight up wins the 1 shield. I'm not sure about that. Okay. We had a positive lead this time. They swap in Swampert. We counter it with our Giratina. Swampert can flip this matchup in the 1 shield by baiting. But I should be able to win the 0 shield pretty comfortably. So I'm willing to let the first one go. If they want to start expending shields, I'll be willing to match them. They do expend a shield. So what I'm thinking here is I'm going to shield because worst case they bait me, and which they do, and then they only can get to a Hydro Cannon here. So we can just pretend we shielded an Earthquake. This is almost better for us in a sense because it gives the opposing Giratina less farm. And we still get off our Dragon Claw to do some nice chip damage. So we keep our alignment. He swaps in S-Cav, and I'm like, uh-oh, this is a little scary. This is a little bit scary. Muy miedo. We're going to bait here with Hydro Cannon, really hoping I can grab a shield. And I do grab the shield. That's massive. Because now I can Earthquake, and this should knock out the S-Cav from this range. S-Cav fairly glassy, and our opponent realizes it's over, since we still had our healthy Sandslash in back. G to the G. And that is a 5-0 set with this squad. I think with this team I went like 4-1 in my first set, and then I had a 2-3... 2-3, and then we go on this. Actually, no, wait. I remember I only had 5. I had a 20-5 day, which was like crazy. And law of averages, right, for GBL. I've had a few days recently where I've won like single-digit games. So you have your rough days. This was one of the good days where we went 20-5 overall. And thanks mostly to this epic winning streak that we're currently on 5 in a row. Right there, that was our 4th set. And now it's our 5th set of this day. Battle commencing. Let's see what we got. Another Jellicent. So it became like a running joke in the Twitch chat. Like, don't try this at home, folks. Do not go down 2 shields in the lead. It's normally not a good idea. But that's what we ended up deciding to do, because a lot of these teams had a weakness to Sandslash in the back. So we just preserve the health on our Sandslash, and we go down 2 shields in this Jellicent matchup. But so it's basically 3 Pokemon and no shields against 2 Pokemon and 2 shields. And because Swampert and Giratina are so good, like such strong meta picks, they're going to be able to put in a lot of work. Pretty much this, it's like a mirror of the last game. This is not the same game, I promise you. It's a different game. But it's playing out pretty much the same way. Last time it was a Nidoqueen and back, so I'm thinking maybe it's a Nidoqueen again, and this time they recognize that switching out is not the play. They power up punch me, which was kind of odd, because I don't think a boosted foul play will quite take me out. Actually, after these counters, yeah, probably will, so perhaps the right play. Pup, then foul play versus double foul play. Makes sense. Yep, takes me out. Pretty smart. I take back what I said. And it is a Nidoqueen in back this time. And I decide I'm just going to sack my Sandslash. I don't want it lined up against the Scrafty anyway, so I'm just going to let my Sandslash get earth powered here. Nidoqueen. Now, should only be able to get to 1 more earth power here. And I know the Scrafty is pretty much in Dragon Claw range. So what I decided to do here is let them earth power me, and this way I can farm down and get off 2 claws against the Scrafty before it can reach a foul play, because it had just foul played the Swampert. So I knew he didn't have that much energy. I kind of lost track of how many counters he did. But we see the same team as, I don't know if it was the same team we played 2 games in a row, or if it was like there was a game in between, but opponent played it a different way, and we were able to adjust. I wonder if a content creator made, like, popularize that team. I guess it's pretty meta, right? Jelly, Scrafty, Nidoqueen. 3 top meta picks for Ultra League. Let's see if we can skip ahead just a bit. Oh, man. I try and skip ahead, and I overdo it. Here we are. Slash into Swampert. Finally, Rise, a negative lead. Can Rise overcome a negative lead? He's getting all the positive leads in the world. We swap our Swamperts. They're staying in, which is good for us. Means they don't have an obvious answer to Swampert, and I just brought my second one right away. Our opponent, a bit of a misplay, allowing us to get both of these off before he even gets one off. And since I've already gotten a shield, I'm willing to let this first one go. I get the sneak, which is terrific. Now we should be back on even energy. I'm aware he might try and catch this Hydro, which he does, but it's perfectly fine. Because now that our switch clocks are so desynced, I can get my Slash in here, and my my Giratina is going to avoid this. I know I resist everything here. Really no need to shield. What I do want to make sure is I come out of this matchup with energy to threaten that Swampert. So that's why I'm undercharging this Bulldoze. Going for an aggressive Shadow Claw down, and I barely get it before I move. I make a mistake here, and I blind Ice Punch expecting the Swampert, but it's the Reggie, and then look at this. I Bulldoze, and he catches the Swampert. This opponent making me look like a fool. But this is actually perfectly fine, because with this Swampert going, we still have a Swampert with some health. And we know that the fast moves from Reggie are not threatening, so we would have just been able to spam Hydros there and then close out with our Giratina, because Reggie's going to need like 3 Zap Cannons to take out Giratina, assuming they're running Focus Blast and Zap Cannon. So opponent didn't even know what we had in back, but top lefts that time. He knew that Swampert would be able to at least chip the Reggie so much that it was unlikely Reggie was going to be able to take out the back Pokemon. Okay, Registeel, tough lead for this team, because Swampert's our only legitimate answer. So what I decided to do here is go for a Bulldoze. And then I'm actually able to catch on my Giratina. So this has so far worked out about as good as possible. We are met by a Florges, which is pretty bad for us. So I know we're not going to be able to take Switch here, since it's going to resist our Dragon Breaths and dish out super effective charge moves. But I know we will be able to wall this thing with our Slash. That Disarming Voice does quite a bit. Let me know in the comments. I know I could just look it up on PvPoke, but what's a clone move or a good move comparison to Disarming Voice? Because off the top of my head, I'm not sure like the energy or the damage, but it does quite a bit of damage there. Our opponent gives up Switch. I decided to shield this because he's approaching Hydro Cannon range after these mud shots. And this way I can keep my Swampert very healthy. Can I mud shot down? I can. That's huge. Does Florges come back? No, Deoxys. So Swampert against the world, but Swampert has so much energy. And once we land 3 Hydros, this Deoxys will be pretty low. So this game is far from over. Another Hydro coming through. We know Swampert is just ridiculously spammy. Very hard Pokemon to deal with. I decided to shield this, since I know he's probably going to Psycho Boost and dip. And I predict the instant swap to Florges, so that's why I blind throw my Hydro. I'm able to get the last shield. It was a CMP, so I'm not able to catch the move. But Swampert still has some health, and I know there's nothing that really threatens my my Sandslash here. At least I don't think there is. And I actually get Petal Blizzarded. And our opponent realizes they're just going to get farmed down. And the Deoxys was fairly low. It was definitely in double Ice Punch range, so I'm not sure if one Ice Punch would have quite KO'd. But opponent realizes it's over and top lefts, and it's on to the next one. I think we got 2 more battles here. 8-0 winning streak with this squad. Definitely a lot of favorable leads for us, but also some nice plays as well. Combination of luck and some nice reads. Excuse Rise for not trimming the in-betweens here. I don't think my hidden elo is even that high, to be honest. I think there's probably just the lack of people playing is why these queue times are pretty bad. I know as soon as I try and drag to skip these queue times, it's going to be like mid-battle, and I'm going to have to drag back. There we go. Patience is a virtue. Going against Zur. Drapion. Okay, so if we were running Powder Snow, this would be pretty great for us, but with Shadow Claw, it's a pretty even matchup, to be honest. 2 crunches doesn't quite KO us. I decided to bait here with Ice Punch, because even if they call it, then I can just pretty much go straight Ice Punch. They do call it. I'm just going straight Ice Punch at this point. Another move coming through. I know that I can live this. I'm cognizant of the fact that they might try and catch. But they take me out with the Aqua Tail. I feel like I can Dragon Breath down quicker than a Mud Shot down. I didn't want to have to take a move. And there's a Nidoqueen that comes in. I'm like, what the heck? A Nidoqueen meeting my Giratina? What could be in back? Debating whether I want to shield or not. I shield, and it isn't Earth Power, so a good shield. Defense fell. We get a shield back. So at this point, I'm like, okay, whatever's in back really doesn't want to see this Giratina, so I'm willing to shield again. They do successfully bait me. I might have been able to farm down there, to be honest. I am not 100% sure. I think I just kind of wasn't concentrating on my counting. In comes Machamp. I attempt to catch a Rock Slide here. I'm unsuccessful. Unsuccessful on the catch. But I wanted to swap out, you know, anyway, just to clear my debuff. But I'm feeling pretty good now because I know I live this cross chop. I'll get to my Hydro. They have to shield to survive. And I have a Dragon Claw loaded, which will close to KO Machamp. And I think I also live a Rock Slide from this range, just barely. He's like 2 away, and he doesn't quite get there. And we take another win. I think we've got one more to close out the video. Can we keep up the winning streak? A-Slash, Swampert, Giratina Altered. And by the way, if you're wondering why Dragon Breath instead of Shadow Claw on my Giratina, it really depends on your team comp, in my opinion. And if I was to run Shadow Claw, I feel like I'd just be way too weak to Scrafty and way too weak to Obstagoon. But Dragon Breath Giratina can actually do pretty well in those matchups. It can make it close or even win those 2 matchups. So that's why Dragon Breath, to help protect the Slash a little bit more. Terrific lead. They swap in Walrein, and this is pretty awkward for us. Because Slash is like our best answer, but even Slash isn't a great answer. Perhaps if I was running Gyro Ball, this would be a little bit more comfortable. Since 2 Gyro Balls plus the Shadow Claws might KO. I get off another Bulldoze here. Grab a shield. Another move coming through from the Walrus. We're going to respect it with a shield. I'm going to get off my next Bulldoze. I may try and catch the EQ. Our opponent, very patient. Recognized that I was going to catch. They hold off on throwing it. And then a little bit of lag perhaps from the opponent after that charge move allows our Swampert to get this off. So unfortunate for them. But actually they did throw after 2 anyway, so they would have lost CMP. Shields are down, so I'm just getting off as much chip damage as possible here before I potentially get grass knotted. Move coming through. It's a future sight, so that tells me they definitely don't have grass knot. Definitely going to come in with Slash here. My switch timer is up. Kind of unnecessary. I Ice Punch for some like chip damage, but probably would have been better served just to keep that Ice Punch, because I don't really need that to win this matchup in the zeros. But I guess this probably prevents me from taking an EQ and a Hydro Cannon as opposed to just the EQ. Does the Swampert get there? It does not. Now we're in a pretty comfortable spot. The Cress will have to Moonblast us here to take us out, and now it should be pretty energy dry. And Slash can live like 2 Moonblasts here, so we're in a pretty comfortable situation. A-Slash going to work. And gonna Shadow Claw down opponent top left at the last second. Lots of top lefts. We need to instill like a top left counter on the channel. I'd top left sometimes too, obviously, if I feel like the game is over. So definitely not casting aspersions with that. Just pointing out, it's kind of funny when like the game is literally about to end and they top left. But all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. 10-0 run with my rank 1 Alolan Sandslash. That's slightly under-leveled for the Open Ultra League. We've got more content coming soon. in this interlude season. Let me know in the comments what kind of content you want to see. I appreciate all of you. Been a little bit lacking, I'd say, on the on how much content I've been producing lately, but I'm hoping to pick it back up, get back on that grind, and really step things up as we're geared for an exciting summer of regionals. And who knows where the future of this will take us after this summer, especially. So all that said, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below, subscribe if you're new, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.